Everyday Juggler, your source for juggling highlights, interviews, tutorials, and reviews. And now your host, Sean Livingston.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to this edition of Everyday Juggler Profiles. Today we get to hang out with Luke Davies. Luke, thanks so much for being with us. And I was wondering if you could tell us a little bit more about yourself, where you're from, how long you've been juggling, and what you're most excited about when it comes to juggling right now.
Well, thanks for inviting me along. I've been juggling for 8 years now, roughly. I'm from Scotland in the UK, and I would say the most exciting thing that I would think about in juggling is balancing, just balancing in general. The stuff that you can do while balancing, it intrigues me. It's just really cool.
Okay, what kind of balancing trick are you working on at the moment?
So yesterday, I think it was yesterday, I posted a 10-ball flash with a club balance. Mm-hmm. So just really numbers, like trying to run 9 balls while balancing a club on my nose and just trying to really hit big tricks.
Mm-hmm. Have you thought about adventuring into like some Amaran territory, doing some foot balancing?
Oh, Plastic Mind guy.
Yeah.
That one.
That's right.
I find that impossibly hard. Like I was watching his stuff and just thinking, oh my gosh, like, how is this even possible?
Yeah, I don't remember if it was during the interview or like before or after, but he was talking about how it's pretty much blind juggling when you're doing a foot balance.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like when there was one trick in particular when he was juggling 4 clubs and he had the balance on his chin, I think, and he drops it onto his foot.
Yep.
Oh my, that was amazing.
It's ridiculous. All right, so let's take it back to the beginning. What you said you've been juggling for about 8 years. What kind of got you started?
So I was at like a fair, and there was a juggling stall there. And I think I was with a bunch of my friends, but they all went off to play football, and I wasn't really like a fan of football. Like they were doing like a competition thing with their team. Mm-hmm. So obviously I couldn't just like join in. So I tried to just entertain myself, and I saw that there was a load of juggling balls just sat on the ground, and I was able to teach myself like the 3-ball flash within about 5 minutes.
Was there anybody teaching, or you just
no?
Wow.
I just naturally like tried to teach myself.
How did you even know how to do a cascade?
I have no idea.
Okay.
I still don't know. I've just always been able to do it, I suppose. Mm-hmm. But yeah, no. So I taught myself how to do that, and then when I went home, I made some juggling balls out of like balloons and rice and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then I looked up tutorials on how to actually do it, and that's when I realized that I was on the right track and I was doing it kind of correctly. Mm-hmm. I just needed to keep it going, because that's the bit that I didn't understand was once I did the flash, I just caught them all. Mm-hmm. So I didn't know how to keep the pattern going.
Mm-hmm. How do you think that when you learn, you can kind of I don't know, when you see it, it kind of sticks with you and you just know how to do it? And a lot of times?
Yeah, I suppose so. It depends on what tricks you're doing, but yeah. I think so.
That's pretty neat. Wish I could do that. Okay, so you said, I think before you said you were 10 when you started, and so you started watching these tutorial videos, and what made you want to keep doing it?
So when I got home, I watched a bunch of tutorial videos, and then I thought in my head like what it could look like to juggle maybe 7 balls or 8 balls. Mm-hmm. So I looked up videos and I saw Vova Galchenko's Fat Boy Slim video. Mm-hmm. And it was the bit where he's juggling 7 balls and the camera's above him, and he does like 8x6 and he just runs 7 balls. Mm-hmm. That was the bit that kind of like inspired me to keep going, to try and get to that level.
Okay. How long did it take you to get there?
Oh my gosh. When maybe 4 years.
Okay.
That was like kind of on and off, but yeah, maybe about 4 years.
Mm-hmm. So by the time you were 14, 15, you were doing 7 balls.
I think so. I might be incorrect in saying that, but I think so.
That's all right. We'll never know.
Yeah.
You did it in 2 years probably. And then, so were you ever part of any clubs or anything, or was this all by yourself?
No, no. So the only club that I've ever been to is one in Dundee, and that was just because I didn't know that other people, like a lot of people did it. Like I didn't know that there would be clubs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of did it because I thought it was fun.
Mm-hmm. What about
Um,
more recently?
yeah, I still don't go to them.
Okay.
So I've been like a few times, but I don't know. I think it distracts me more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't feel like I'm learning. I don't
Mm-hmm.
feel like I'm hitting big tricks. I'm just kind of chatting with other people,
Okay. All right. Um,
which is fun still. But when you want to learn a certain trick, you've obviously got to be 100% focused.
yep. Yep. Okay, so since you haven't really been part of clubs along the way, who would you say has kind of encouraged you along the way, the most?
Like internet wise.
Sure.
So to begin with, I watched a lot of Ivan Pacel's videos.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like the main inspiration, as well as like I watched the Fatboy Slim video of Vova Galchenko.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, I didn't really watch more of his videos for some reason. I kind of sidetracked and watched a whole bunch of Ivan Pacel's videos,
Okay.
which just I don't know. It wasn't so much the juggling that inspired me; it was his personality. I just thought he was like so entertaining to watch, and I just thought it was really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I saw the video. I think it was like America's Got Talent, recently of him, and
Yeah.
the judges were really mean to him. Speaking of performing, you liked his performing, but you were saying before that you're not really into the performing thing.
No,
What
not
is it
really.
about performing that gets you?
It's just the fact that I can't really do big tricks. Like I feel like I'm not showing my best ability, if you know what I mean, the best of my ability.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. So, do you think that there would be any way for someone to talk you into doing some performing?
I did By Jotty last year, which was kind of like a one-off thing.
Okay.
So I don't know. I think it just depends on what mood I'm in.
Okay. Yeah. And if you're able to actually show off what you can actually do.
Yeah, if it was in front of a crowd of jugglers, then
Right.
I don't think I would mind as much.
It's got to be people that can appreciate the craft.
Yeah.
Right. That's pretty neat. So you were talking about balancing being kind of something you were excited about right now.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
What kind of tips do you have for people who might want to try balancing?
Definitely just focus on looking as high up the club as you can, and don't let your eyes slide down and try and look at the pattern. Like always look at whatever you're balancing, I suppose.
Would you say it's good to start with something taller than a club?
I'm not sure. I think, well, I suppose when you're actually learning the balance itself, then yeah. But when you're learning patterns and stuff, I think it's always best to try and push yourself. I never really learned anything other than a club and like a ring as well. But I suppose it depends on what you want to do with it.
And then also, you weren't saying you were excited about numbers, but we all know you as the numbers guy. So
Yeah.
what kind of... Actually, no, I was talking to somebody, and I mentioned that I was going to be doing this with you, and he was like,
Yeah.
he's like, Luke Davies, like, the numbers guy. He's like, oh, right. What are some tips you have for trying to work towards numbers?
I think just don't rush as much. Like you don't need to be as fast as you think you might need to be. Like even when I'm doing like 9, 10, or even like sometimes doing 11 balls, if I slow down like my actual pattern, it's 10 times easier, like way easier. It makes the gaps and stuff like in between the balls like way easier to control, and just it's a lot easier.
But slowing down the pattern also means throwing them higher.
Yeah. My patterns are known to be like at times very low.
Okay. Okay.
But I think it's more just getting the gaps and stuff as well. Like if you have a good spacing of the pattern, then you can still have it relatively slow, and not ridiculously high.
So there's a few things I feel I like thinking about numbers. I feel like would be important to make, you know, they're just important to numbers. So one would be like height, making sure you can throw the balls at a consistent height.
Yeah.
One would be the spacing of the objects, making sure that's consistent. Another would be like the arc, making sure that's consistent. Do you have any ways that you work on each of those specifically?
No.
Okay.
If I'm being honest, when I go out and juggle, there's no set way of me practicing. I just kind of mess around. I do a lot of sight swap practices, but nothing in particular. Like nothing. I have nothing like routined to my practice at all.
Okay. So how do you make time to practice?
I suppose I just like even at night, like just whenever I can, like literally whenever I have like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, I just juggle.
Yeah. I work for my family in an office, and it's like a walled office. It's not like a cubicle or anything. So I've got my juggling stuff there. Like anytime I need a break, I just throw in
That's cool.
5 or 10 minutes or whatever. I think that's good too because it makes it so that I'm not like working on the same I like, jugglers have a bad habit of like trying to do something over and over and over again, even when it's not good anymore.
Yeah.
It forces me to just work on something for 5-10 minutes. But I wish everybody had that opportunity.
No, yeah. I think it depends on how busy you are and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like there are times where I can't really practice at all for like a few weeks or so. But I think it depends on how busy you are and how much how dedicated you are, I suppose.
How much would you say that you practice on an average week?
Maybe at most around 4 to 5 hours.
Okay.
No, maybe a little bit more than that. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe at most about 6-7 hours.
Okay.
And at least I would say about 2 hours, 3 hours.
You practice primarily on days you don't work, or primarily the short time work?
I try and split up. So with work, I generally for the past few months have been finishing like very late at night. So I don't really have a chance when I get home from work, but I do before I leave. Like I'll have a wee juggle for like a few hours or so.
Okay.
Before I leave for work.
Cool. How have you seen juggling kind of impact your life?
It's made my coordination a lot better.
Okay.
I don't know. I think it's probably improved how I act as well. Like I'm not. I don't know. I think it's probably made me a nicer person.
A nicer person?
Yeah, from just seeing how juggling affects people, it just makes me smile and stuff. So I suppose that's probably made me like a cheerier, happier person, and the attention it brings as well. Like I suppose, I don't know, it affects people in good ways, I suppose.
That's great. And so the follow-up question is how you've seen it impact other people's lives, and I guess you sort of answered that. Juggling makes people happy.
Yeah, I suppose.
Do you have any specific example of that?
I don't know. Whenever I'm practicing, like if I'm practicing or making a video in Dundee, I generally get like a lot of people coming up to me and making like nice comments and just saying that they want to video me, or just even coming up and saying that I'm cool, like for the tricks that I'm doing, or like saying that juggling's cool.
Yeah.
And I think that just puts a smile on my face, and just brightens people's day.
That's awesome. I think when jugglers juggle, even five things, or if they're juggling
Yeah.
like silly things and performances, people tend to just be like, that's cool, but like not like amazing. But when you start doing
Yeah.
number stuff, people are like, "Man, what are you, a superhuman? Like, how can you even do that?" All right, well, here's some quick fire questions for you. What's your favorite trick or pattern to do?
You said quickfire, and I'm being really slow at
Oh,
answering.
take your time. Take your time. It's quick fire questions, not answers.
I suppose so. Probably maybe back crosses or like 97531, maybe something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah. And what about to watch?
To watch, I would say just any kind of numbers, so 10 and above.
Uh-huh. And who to watch?
Okay, so recently I've actually kind of watched a lot of Lucas Adverse, which is kind of weird because normally that style isn't like I appreciate it, but normally it doesn't entertain me, and I don't watch it because it's not something that I practice.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't feel like I'm learning anything from watching it, but I feel like the way that he does it is really cool. And I watch a lot of Doug Sayers.
Mm-hmm.
Tom, do you know Tom Whitfield? I think I pronounced his name right.
Tom Whitfield. I actually don't know him.
So I met him at the BGC last year, and some of his stuff, like he posted a 10-ball run where I think he must have got like 18 catches, 19 catches, something like that. And he, so recently he's been inspiring me. We're actually having a game of juggle.
Okay.
So yeah, no, it's really cool, really cool. So yeah, Doug Sayers. Who else did I say? Tom Whitfield, Lucas Adverse.
Mm-hmm.
Who else? Oh, Kenny
Chiang.
Yeah,
I don't know how to say it either,
but who else? There's another guy that I always watch, and I can't remember his name.
The guy from Texas does balancing high numbers.
Scott.
Yeah, Scott Sorensen.
Sorensen.
Yeah. That's right? I think that's right.
Yeah, I think it's right. It must be.
He's incredible. Like he just juggles with such so relaxed.
Yeah, he's cool. Very cool. He did. Did you see his 6-club flash with a ball bounce? That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
That was very cool.
Yeah. Do you work on ball bouncing too, or just balancing?
So, like 2 weeks ago or so, I bought like a head bouncing ball. I can do like 5 balls with it, but I think I want to work on it a lot more. But it's been like a very recent thing that I've started doing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you're in the middle of working on balancing stuff, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then Lucas Adverse, that's definitely a lot different from your style.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Do you think it's just kind of refreshing to see something a little bit different?
I don't know. I think it's just the way that he does it.
Okay.
Like it just, I don't know. I don't know what it is that interests me about Adverse.
I would say that he's able to combine tricks together in a way that looks really natural.
Yeah. Because I've watched a lot of like 3-ball jugglers, but I don't know why. It's just it seems to only be Adverse that can actually like keep me watching, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm. Did you see the club video he posted this past week?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. He just started working on clubs like hardcore when he got to Japan. Like a month ago, and it's incredible to see like how quick he's progressing in that.
I've saw some of his stuff. It's quite cool. Yeah, very cool.
Starting to do some Jorge Vilches stuff.
Yeah.
All right. So, favorite prop to use?
Ball.
Okay. Favorite brand of balls?
Juggle Dream Uglies.
Juggle Dream Uglies. What is so great about them?
I've used them for the past like 6 years. I just think they're real. Like, I don't think they get enough attention for what they can do. Because I can go from doing like 11 balls to doing sight swaps and to doing like 3-ball tricks or back crosses or something. Like they're a very versatile prop.
Mm-hmm. Where is Juggle Dream based?
So they're based in Brighton. Well, Oddballs, but they're based in Brighton and in London, in
Okay.
Camden.
Okay. Favorite music to listen to when you're practicing?
I don't really listen to music when I practice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I don't know why.
That's okay. I'm like super into music. Like
Yeah.
I've been to hundreds of shows in my life, but I don't really listen to music when I practice either. So, favorite festival you've been to?
I've only been to one, and that was the BGC last year.
And
I'm going to it this year, though.
Was that your favorite?
Yeah.
Best.
I think so. Yeah, definitely.
If I had to choose, best memory from the BJC.
Best memory. I think me and Julian Sather. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Me and Julian ran 9 balls side by side, which I thought that was quite cool.
Mm-hmm.
So either that, just purely because it looked cool, or this sounds mean, but Lewis Kennedy fell down the stairs, and that's not the part. That's not the part that is my favorite memory. It's how he told everyone, and he was just so relaxed and like laughing about it and stuff, it was just hilarious, like the way that he was explaining it, because he had like a massive cut on his back from because he was trying to slide down. I think it's in the BJC video. He was trying to slide down the banister,
Mm-hmm.
and he slipped, and his back went straight into the step, and it was horrible. He was in a lot of pain, but the way that he said it was hilarious. So I don't know. Either that, Julian Sather's me and Julian running 9 balls, or watching Ofek do a 7 ball 7-up 720.
Mm-hmm.
That was amazing.
Oh, it sounds like it. So Ofek, you watch his stuff too, I assume. That'd be another one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's incredible.
It was funny because at the BGC, someone had told me that Ofek had landed an 8 ball 8-up 720 to a collect. So I asked him about it, and I was like, "Oh, Ofek, I heard that you did this. Is this true?" And he was like, "Oh no, like that'd be impossible." And I don't know. I think it must have been like a month later or something. I saw a video of him doing a 7 ball 7-up 1080, and I was just watching it thinking, "What?"
Yeah, if you can do
like,
that.
Yeah, exactly. I was so stunned. I was like, how do you find that to not be an impossibly hard trick?
Right.
But what people thought you did is supposedly impossible.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So
He's crazy.
Back to
Crazy.
Lewis Kennedy when he fell down the steps. You said it was just funny the way he was explaining it. Was he like? Did he just think it was hilarious? Was he just like excited? It's like an epic story.
I don't even know what was funny about it. It was just like I felt bad for him because obviously like nobody wants to do that. But I think it's just him. Like he's a very funny person. So I don't know if it's just him.
Yeah.
I really like him. He's cool.
Yep.
Very cool.
Definitely a wonderful person in the juggling community.
Yeah.
What's your best practice tip?
I don't know, just have fun. Just mess around. See which styles you like best, and I don't know, just kind of switch it up.
Don't spend too much time on one thing.
Yeah.
Sweet.
But at the same time, don't give up too easily.
What's the longest time you spent working on one thing?
I would say that was probably learning to flash 11 balls. Because at the time I was using quite heavy juggling balls. I think they must have been about like 100 and something grams. So obviously, like it was very tiring.
Mm-hmm.
So I must have spent months and months doing that, like just trying to flash it.
Mm-hmm. That's a great question. right there. How heavy do you like your balls to be when you're working on the higher numbers?
When I do like up to 10 balls, I use the Juggler Mugglies, which are 90 grams.
Okay.
And when I do 11, I think the balls I use must be like 50 grams, 60 grams.
Oh wow, that's light.
I'm not sure actually. Maybe like 60 grams, something like that. I'm not sure. I'd have to check, but.
And then how like diameter wise, do you know off the top of your head?
No.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
I would think with the more balls you go, the smaller they got to be.
I have a Juggle Dream Ugly right here in my hand. So I don't know if that if that shows a rough idea.
Sweet. I've got, it's not a Juggle Dream Ugly, but I'll show a ball too. It's a John Nord's underfilled. It's about the same size. I have tiny hands though, so it doesn't look like it. All right, so if people want to see your stuff, and actually, no, before that, is there anything that we haven't talked about that you wanted to share with us?
So I just wanted to say quickly a thank you to a company called Flying Clipper. I don't know if you've heard of them.
Yep.
So they sent me these balls as well.
I think they're based out of Oregon, I think.
Maybe. And yeah, so I just wanted to say thanks to them for sending me them, and thanks to like all the other companies that have ever invested time or sent me equipment. It's just very cool. Very cool of them.
Yep. Are those those like their new prototype balls?
That
are washable?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are they called? Flat tire?
Yeah.
I think, yeah. Those ones.
Okay. I talked to somebody else yesterday actually that also has a set of those, so they sound pretty cool. You'll have to let us know if you can actually wash them.
They are very cool. I don't know. I've not tried yet. They're not very dirty. I don't know if you can see them. I don't use this one that much.
Hard to tell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They seem very very nice to juggle.
Sweet. Okay, and where can people find you if they want to see what you're doing?
So I post a lot to Instagram, which is, what is my Instagram? Luke Davies with 3 S's at the end.
Okay.
I post to Facebook as well, which is just Luke Davies Juggler, and YouTube, which is Juggler Davies.
Okay.
So I think that's the 3 main ones.
All right. So YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Lots of places to find what you're doing.
Yeah.
And last word goes to you. What are some words of inspiration you give to the juggling community at large?
I don't know. Like I said, just try and vary it up. Like right now, I don't see myself as like a club juggler, but for the past maybe week or so, I've been doing 8 clubs again, which I stopped doing that for a few months, but I've got back to that again, which is obviously not my usual style, I suppose.
Yeah.
So just to try and vary it up and change it around.
All right, we'll do that, and I'm excited to see you do some club stuff.
Yeah, there's a video of me. I don't know if there's a video online of me flashing 8 clubs. I don't think there is. I don't know if I posted it or not. But there will be soon anyway.
Okay, I'm waiting for 11 clubs.
No.
Qualified. All right, cool. Well, thanks again for being with us, and
thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, no problem. And everybody else, thanks for tuning in to this edition of Everyday Juggler Profiles. We got to hang out with Luke Davies, me, and Ava. Sorry for all the noises, but she's glad to be here. Make sure you check out my other interviews and highlight reels at my channel, and download my free resource, Top 15 Ways to Take Your Juggling to the Next Level, at my site. Until next time, keep on juggling.
Cool.
Thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, be sure to support the channel. Leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe.